Imagine awakening and finding yourself unable to react or move a muscle. Your mind is conscious and aware, while your body is still asleep. It feels as if an invisible metal heavy cloak is restraining your movement. What could be worse? How about not being able to say one word? As you lay there, you feel a strong urge to get out of this state, to wake your body up, to move. Is this a vegetable state, a conscious coma? Close. We call this phenomenon sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is an experience in which one cannot move while mentally conscious before falling asleep, which is hypnagogic sleep paralysis. Or this could occur after waking up, which is hypnopompic sleep paralysis. According to WebMD, this state could last anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes, and in most cases, sleep paralysis is an indication that one's body is not moving through the sleep stages efficiently and smoothly. As described by WebMD, hypnagogic sleep paralysis can occur as one is falling asleep and becomes less aware as his body or her body relaxes. If this person remains aware, they can fall into sleep paralysis. When one becomes aware before the end of his or her REM cycle, this person may experience hypnopompic sleep paralysis. According to OMD, about 4 in 10 people have experienced sleep paralysis, and although this condition is usually spotted in teens, I actually interviewed a couple of people who started this at a very early age. NHS of UK says that sleep paralysis has been linked to young age, sleep deprivation, irregular sleeping patterns, narcolepsy, and family genetics. During a personal interview, Lindsay Carney described his experience as follows. The earliest occurrence I can recall is around when I was 6 years old, shortly after my parents' divorce. At this time in my life, it always occurred in congruence with a recurring night terror that is difficult to describe. The night terror included imagery of me running from a large boulder that followed me wherever I went, as well as images of a clock and deep unsettling heaviness within my stomach. I would always awake from this dream with sleep paralysis. It was very terrifying at an early age. Later in his early 20s, Lindsay began to experience sleep paralysis more regularly after he had some grieving events in his life. Eventually, Lindsay was able to bring himself into this state consciously, especially when falling asleep. He found that attempting to wiggle his toes and fingers brought him out of this state. It took a while, but it would. He stated that paying close attention and being consciously aware of his oncoming dreaming state triggered sleep paralysis. I would sometimes intentionally embrace the state to further explore and understand this phenomenon for my own benefit, said Carney. Another interviewee, Blake Vonley, stated that he experienced sleep paralysis upon waking up and that it took a lot of energy to move his hands. Once he did, his body would instantly become conscious, but he felt extremely exhausted. He told me that he had experienced this phenomenon randomly since he was a child, about a dozen times or so until his earlier 20s. It would last for maybe 60 seconds, but it would feel like 5 minutes, he said. Throughout history, sleep paralysis has been seen as the ultimate nightmare, in which many had perceived a supernatural being sitting on their bodies, causing them the ability to move, speak, or even sometimes breathe. According to the Sleep Paralysis Project, this phenomenon dates back as early as 400 BCE and has been seen in Chinese dreaming book. In 1689, Van Dammerbroek diagnosed the sleep paralysis case as follows. This affection is called incubus, or the nightmare, which is an intercepting of the motion of the voice and respiration. With a false dream of something lying ponderous upon the beast, the motion of the muscles fail. Now, because the motion of the muscles, for the most part, ceases in time of sleep, except for the respiratory muscles. Therefore, the failing of their motion is first perceived by reason of the extraordinary trouble that arises for want of respiration. Now the patient, not understanding the cause in that condition, believes herself to be paralyzed by some demon, thief, or other ponderous body to breathe. As is stated by NHS, treatment for sleep paralysis includes improving one's sleeping habits, regular exercise, and there's medications such as tricyclic antidepressant, which is prescribed to decrease the amount and depth of the REM sleeping disorder to prevent sleep paralysis and the hallucinations that are associated with it. Regarding the personal interviews I had conducted, it appears that underlying psychological matters as well as stressful life events can affect the frequency of these occurrences. This may be because peaceful sleep is not obtained due to these stresses, and the mind awakens or remains awake while the body falls asleep. It is difficult to ascertain the true causes of this state due to the subjective matter of this topic. However, with patient objective attention and perhaps with some guidance, the amount of control and awareness can be exerted over the state by the patient. I feel as though the proper attentive counseling, with proper attentive counseling, a patient may be able to reduce this frequency and maintain a sense of calmness during these occurrences.